respectfully, I feel like if you say a Mount Rushmore, it's not off my favorites.
Nope.
It's off of
I mean,
the
it can
time. Nope. This is my opinion.
Yep.
It's not off my favorites. It's off of the time and work and skill put in. So my Mount Rushmore would be.
You see, I'm Southside reppin', Bigfoot steppin'. Zone 3 section is God flow perfection. Hating on the church like I ain't blessed they section. If we ain't talking money, I got a weak connection. That's on the hood. She said get a bag, so I get it, got it good. Don't complain about my problems, I just put it in a wood. Seen a genie the other day, she said make it good. So I wish for good health, then I wish to look. It's chief, not lieutenant. Yeah, I'm back, been a minute. My hard work gets you offended. Shout out my boy Academic.
All right, another episode of Live on Lake Street. We live, baby. We got ASHLI Henderson in the building. Finally.
What's the deal?
Finally. How you feeling today?
I'm good, man. I'm happy to be here.
Good. I'm happy to have you here.
Shit, I was waiting. I'm like, I want to be on Live on Lake Street. Shit, I know I'm Northside, but I want to come over here.
Hey, you don't watch the show, huh?
I do. I'll be tapping in.
We lean heavy towards the north side. We had people on our ass early on.
No, I'm just messing with y'all.
I know.
I thought y'all had beef with us because we won that little, what was that roast, Sosa? That was that roast.
Wait, what happened at the roast? Tell me about the roast.
Was it Northside? Was it Southside or St. Paul? Oh, my bad. That was St. Paul.
Oh, so it was a north side roast in St. Paul?
Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah, we did the roast on Super Bowl, the day of the Super Bowl.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, this Super Bowl?
Yep.
How did I miss that? I must have been watching the Super Bowl.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, we won right after though.
So let's get into it. Let's start. I want to start at the beginning of your career. I didn't know that you actually did music before you got into the whole comedy realm.
Yeah.
So talk to me about that a little bit.
I used to sing for Javante Patton and DFY.
Like sing.
Yep.
You can sing? Like sing for real?
I do a little bit. I could get busy with it.
That's crazy.
Nah, but yeah, I used to sing alto. Alto, sometimes tenor and soprano with Javante Patton and DFY from like '08 to I think I got out in 2012.
Okay. You still sing it all?
Sometimes when I'm performing, when I'm performing, I will.
Really?
Like it'll come out playing jokingly. Yeah.
Okay, that's dope. So you started with the music and then you moved and then so did you ever release like solo music on your own?
No. I just like being in DFY at the time. Yeah. And then I ended up moving to St. Louis while I was in the Army. And so I was doing that for a while.
I didn't know you were in the Army either.
5 years, yeah. From 09 to 2000, no, 08 to 09 to 2014, something like that.
So where did you end up getting stationed?
Missouri, St. Louis.
And did you ever have to go into?
No, I was supposed to go to Afghanistan 3 times, and each time like I went to California for like 4 or 5 months to train, and then right before they was about to send me overseas, they canceled our deployment and made it optional. And so I was like, nah, I opted out.
Were you ready?
I mean, I was as ready as I could have been, but if I had the choice, I'm coming back home. Yeah.
Of course. So what made you get into the Army?
I had a kid at 17. And so I was like, it was either me going to Columbia College for theater or feeding her. And I was like, man, getting money is going to be easier. So I just did that. And then I was also in DFY, so I was enjoying doing that. We were traveling. That was the first time I even experienced what somewhat a touring is like and stuff like that. Like we went to a few different places in the Midwest and was doing sold out concerts here and all of that, like making albums. We did like 3 CDs or something like that together while I was there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you got like that's a backstory. Do you talk about that a lot?
No, I don't think no, not really. I don't really get asked much about music. Most of the time it's just about comedy.
I'm more interested in the Army part, the military part actually.
Okay, yeah.
Like I'm curious, so like what was your experience in the military?
Well, I joined when I was in high school, so I did like a year while I was finishing up high school.
You did like the ROTC shit?
Well, I was in the reserves first.
Okay.
Cause I didn't want to leave my daughter right away. I didn't want to go in and then be deployed or stationed somewhere.
For sure.
And so or be deployed right away. And so I did that and I was here doing DFY with that. and then they ended up moving. I was supposed to get deployed, like I said, went to LA for a few years or for a few months, and then once I came back, did DFY for a little bit more, and then I ended up going to St. Louis for a couple of years, and then I came back.
And it was, I mean, was it a decent experience? Tough?
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. Man, the hardest thing was like when I went to basic. I had to go to basic, like 2-3 weeks after graduating high school, and I had to leave my daughter. My daughter was like 1.
Mm-hmm.
So that was tough.
That's tough.
That was tough. Leaving her for like 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Not being able to talk to her, because when you go to basic for the first like half of that, you can't basic and AIT for the first half of that 6 months, you can't use a phone or contact anybody or anything like that. And it was funny though, because while I was down there, I'm like, man, you know, I'm still me.
Yeah.
So one of my battle buddies ended up sneaking a phone into the barracks, and I called my daughter, and my ex-boyfriend at the time, he answered. I talked to my daughter for a little bit, whatever, but then my drill sergeant ended up finding the phones, and he called the phone back. And so I got in trouble for that, but I was, that was a highlight in that moment. But yeah, hell yeah,
and worth it too.
Hell yeah, yeah.
That's
so
crazy.
That was tough.
So then after you got out the Army, what was the next move?
Honestly, man, I was just lost in the sauce. Really, I didn't know what I was about to do. I was working at shoe stores and stuff like that, just trying to find what was next. You know what I'm saying?
Have you always had like the comedy aspect to you though?
I've always been funny, always been funny my whole life.
So at that time, were you considering the idea of doing something with comedy?
Nah.
You were just fun,
not
just
at all.
a funny
Just
person.
being me. Yeah.
So at what point did it go in your mind? You're like, I should do something with this.
2016, I was working for Sun Country, and I was funny the whole time working there. But one day we were at the ticket counter, and I was roasting everybody. I'm roasting the people coming in. I'm roasting my managers. That day I just didn't care. I was just on go. Like I was on go, and my coworkers at the time was like, man, Ash. At that point, they was like, Ash. They had been saying it. They was like, you gotta sign up. If you don't sign up, I'ma sign you up. So I'm like, all right, bet. I sign up. In my head, I'm like,
what are you signing up for?
Open mic. Open mic,
got you.
I go to Acme. I sign up in my head. I'm like, if don't nobody show up, I'm gonna just tell them I did it, and I'm gonna go home. Yeah. Everybody that said they was coming. They came. Like my dad even came on time. That's when I knew. I was like, I really gotta perform. so my dad was there. You know my dad gonna come, but the dude came on time. He was there. He probably dropped like, oh man, I was the first person on the list, and I actually ended up being the first person that they called up. They gave me 3 minutes, man. I murdered my 3 minutes. I rushed it. Looking back on it, I rushed it, but I did so good, man. And we sat and watched like the next 6-7 comedians, and it wasn't hitting. I was like, yeah, I got to keep doing this. And, if you do comedy, you know that feeling when you kill, like, you like, oh, yeah, this is it.
Yeah, that's got to be a crazy feeling.
Yeah.
So I guess that was the other thing I didn't know. I didn't know that this all started with ultimately a stand-up set.
Yeah.
Because most of your comedy isn't stand-up. Like, it's not a routine. It's you know what I mean? Like, a lot of your shit is viral videos, like skits.
Nah, that's just everybody that's getting in tune now. I've been doing comedy.
So prior to that, you were doing stand-up. That was when
stand-up.
I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Yeah, no, I've been doing stand-up since 16, and I made a pretty good way for myself, if I might say so. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like
you did.
From doing shows with B. Simone and Watch Jazzy to Bill Bellamy and Henry Welch and shoot, I can't think of some people. I've performed with a lot of people that a lot of people, Birdman off of Martin, you know what I'm saying? Different things like that. Traveling, I've done shows in Canada, winning competitions in other countries and performing in different states. So yeah, I was doing all of that before. I just went viral last June.
Yeah, viral.
This is all before June.
So okay, so I've obviously you've killed stages, but I know you had to have bombed at some point. You've never bombed? It's a rite of passage.
Man, just about all my shows have been on live or recorded at some point. I've had moments where I can say that wasn't my greatest set. But as far as not getting a laugh at a show, nah. Never. I've had the time where I did a show. I remember I did a show and I was killing, but then I just went blank. And I was like, all right, y'all, I'm done. I would say that's bombing.
Yeah. I mean, if it was working before that.
Yeah, and then I did a show when I first started, and I felt like they was being racist. All the comics before me, it was just like, they was just blowing me, you know, and the militant side of me was coming up, you know, and so I was just like, so I started off and I was killing, and I was like, yeah, I can't even do this shit. Like, I just stopped. I would say that was a bomb because the people that came to see me, regardless of how I felt. So to me, I bombed, you know, because, you know, they came to see me regardless. I should have held my composure and handled that professionally, but nah, never bombed, no.
You said you felt like they were being racist?
Some of the comics, you know,
the other
comics playing games.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was in one of them areas and they was playing games. People are still people, whether they're being whether they're being funny or not.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't feeling it. But that's when I first started, too. I really didn't understand certain things and dark humor and all of that. And I think sometimes with dark humor, people still go too far. But I got more understanding, much more understanding now. Okay.
And so last June, you went viral. What was the video that went viral?
Well, initially, the video that made me go viral on TikTok was actually a Whitney Houston video. It was Heartbreak Hotel.
Okay.
Yep. And then the video that made me go viral on everything was Missy Elliott.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Missy Elliott video.
So how did you get the idea to even start doing these like remakes?
To be honest, the year before when I was doing the pop-up for George Floyd, when we were doing the pop-up, I would get up at like 5 a.m. and just be out in my backyard chilling, like just kind of getting my mind together because it was such a heavy situation that I had to, in order to not be all caught up in the politics of everything, I had to find my funny, you know, and so I would chill in my backyard with my little brother Deshaun, and he came up with the idea because I was doing if some people remember, I did the Paid in Full. I did the uncle, the uncle cover from Paid in Full, and after that video, Deshaun was like, "Yo, Ash, you should start doing video remakes." That was the year before, and then so that following year, we got in our bag doing these videos and stuff like that, and my boy Java came over, and I just had the idea to do the Whitney Houston, and then we went. Did you find it crazy that worked so well? What the video?
The remakes.
Well, yeah, because so what happened was Java came over to get his mail that he had sent to my house, and I was like, man, I had this fur that my granny had left me. It's my heirloom actually, and I was like, I want to do this Heartbreak Hotel video. I was watching music videos. I was like, and he was like, all right, but if we do it, let's go to the beach. And so when we did it, and we just kept bouncing ideas off each other, I'm like, oh, this shit is gonna be good. Because it was funny to us. Yeah. It was too funny to me. Yep. And so once I did that, and then I came up with the Whitney Houston. The Missy Elliott, and he was like, no, he came up with the Whitney Houston first. The I Will Always Love You, and then I came up with the Missy Elliott, and I was like, I want to get in the sand. And he was like, all right, but we really gotta bury you though. Shout out to Javaris, and him with his angles, and us just being able to bounce our ideas, and it just kept going after that. Just up and up and up.
Do you understand why it's so funny? Because every time I watch one of your videos, your remake videos, I laugh my ass off. But I don't even. It's like you're just doing extremely accurate remakes.
It's the details.
That's what it is, right? It has to be.
The details are what make me laugh. I think a lot of times I pay attention to things that people miss.
Yeah.
And that's me naturally. I'll peep something and I'll be like, I think it comes out in my stand-up too. It's like, how did she think of that? Or why are you thinking like that? Yeah. And if you're around me enough, you'll see that come out. And so that's the same thing, just translated in a different way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so interesting to me how, because the funniest comedians are the comedians that just talk about real shit that you can relate to.
Yeah.
And so there's an element to that, to those remake videos. It's like, you basically just did the exact same video perfectly.
Yeah.
But because it's not the original person that did it, it's fucking funny.
But then it's not just me either. You know what I'm saying? It's me, Javaris, Sosa and Keith when they come in on it.
Oh yeah,
you
for
know?
sure. The extra characters are funny as hell too. Yes.
But it's not, you know what? And it's not even the characters. It's the four-headed monster. You know what I'm saying? Like, I pay attention to these details, and then Java might pay attention to something that I don't even see, especially like angles. When you're talking about camera stuff, camera work. This man is he's seeing, so I'm like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Or you got Keith paying attention to how I'm expressing something, or Keith tighten up, or that or whatever. So with his, all right, this how we got, okay, I'm seeing, so might catch the vision before I do. Sometimes I'm like, I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? So so I think when you got to collaborate, like a team of people that think like you, but everybody adds something different, that makes the video even more fire.
For sure,
you
because you're missing no detail.
Come on, man. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's great. Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. So as far as like the stand-up goes, are you using the videos to kind of promote yourself as a stand-up comedian, or is it all just one big thing for you?
I'm using everything to promote me.
Yeah.
I feel like that's who I am. My gift to this world, and who God created me to be, is somebody that brings light and joy and laughter.
Yeah.
I always tell people I want to be the medicine. We got so much grief and anger and stress in the world. I want to be part of the medicine. I want to be a part of the solution, not the problem. And so whether it be stand-up comedy, music, videos, it's all just a part of who I am.
Yeah.
I'm an entertainer.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, is stand-up, like, you want like giant world stand-up tours with you headlining?
Absolutely.
That's what you want, right?
Absolutely. And if I'm being honest, I want to go on world tours, but I'd rather host. Like, I like to host. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like you get the best of me when I'm hosting. And then and let everybody that I want to open, feature, and headline, I want them to do that, and then let me host and let me run the show. That's what I like to do. But I definitely want to do that. I want to go on world tours, doing all of that. I want to come out to my own music doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about that, because
Yeah.
I told you off the mic with the women's cipher that they just did with Ricky
Collins.
What's it called? But what's Packed House Live?
Yeah.
I want to make sure you got his proper.
Shout out
too.
to Packed House Live.
And I saw that the cipher was hosted by you before it came out, and so in my mind I'm like, what does hosting a cipher look like? And I was like, if she raps, I'm gonna die. And then of course
I rap.
you
right?
rapped, and you rapped well.
Thank you.
So you kind of threw me for a loop. I was sort of expecting like a comedic. I mean, it was still comedic, but I was expecting you kind of like to be on some jokey joke shit, but you actually rapped.
Yeah, nah.
So what? So then that made me wonder: are you really like? Is that something you're actually pursuing?
Yeah, but like I don't want, as ASHLI Henderson, I want Stud Folks. My alter ego. I want Stud Folks to come out with a mixtape, and like you said, it's gonna always be funny, but I still want it to vibe too. You know what I'm saying? I want to be on some cool shit, my cool ass.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of the vibe with it. When people ask me to do music or do freestyles and stuff like that, I've done it before.
Yeah.
Like when Nakara did her Love Hangover challenge a few years ago. Whatever, I did that. That was cool. Same kind of style. So I like doing that kind of stuff, man. I think I get in a different creative mindset when I do that, and it just lets me express myself differently. As far as the cipher, though, when Ricky hit me, I was excited to do it, and I was actually out of town doing a comedy show. I was in Florida doing a comedy show and wrote that. I wrote some of it on the plane and then wrote the rest on the way to his house. I had to fly back here to record that and then get on the plane to leave to go do another show. So that was cool. I was glad y'all liked that because that was rushed.
Was that planned? Did you know you were gonna rap? Or were you initially just supposed to like host it?
No. He asked me to do the freestyle. He wanted that exact reaction. He was like, I want people to think that you're hosting, and I would just want you to come out just with some fun shit.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that was perfect. That was well done.
Yeah, that was fun, man.
Yeah.
I had a good time doing that. All the ladies killed that cipher, though. Shout out.
They definitely
Yeah,
did.
they all did.
Who had the best verse?
Everybody.
Nah.
Everybody.
They definitely all got off. Nobody had a weak verse, but somebody had the best verse.
I'm a cheer for myself.
You?
Yeah, that's why. That way I could keep it even. That way, you know, can't nobody be mad. I'm a cheer for myself.
That's a cop out, but all right.
Huh?
Huh?
What you
Come
mean?
on.
Myself is a cop out. I could cheer for myself. That ain't
You
no cop
can,
out.
but I mean.
Nah, man. I'm a cheer for myself.
All right.
And I'm sticking to it. I'm standing at
All
it.
right. So you're actually working on music though going forward as like as an artist.
Yeah, Stuff Folks. Stuff Folks. We're gonna drop a mixtape, Coochie Chronicles.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Y'all gotta read about this shit. I gotta talk to y'all about the Stuff Folks shit. You know what I'm saying? I gotta talk to
Coochie
y'all.
Chronicles.
Shout out to Sosa. Sosa, the one that named Stuff Folks. He came up with that.
How we come up with that?
Man, all his sisters is studs. You know, I'm a stud. That's my brother. You know what I'm saying? So shoot, it just happened naturally. We being around each other, Stud Folks. And then we started doing this. We was doing the skits, Stud Folks, and Sosa hit a lick. And then everybody just started, you know, people would see me that know me by them videos and be like, Stud Folks. So it just became a thing.
Just work.
Yeah.
What about My Cool Ash? What is that? How'd you come up with that?
I wanted a cool Instagram name.
Okay. I was hoping for a cool backstory, like.
Nah, I was on Instagram, so I used to have Instagram, but I really not in social. I'm not into social media like that. So I used to have an Instagram, and then I deleted it, like whatever. And then my boy Java once again was like, Ash, you gotta get on social media. You killing with comedy, you know, promote yourself. I'm like, all right, bet. So I hopped on, but I'm like, man, I need a fly Instagram name. Like at the time, I don't know. Everybody's Instagrams that I was seeing it was like, damn, that's kind of fly. Like, I like that shit. I think Maya's was like Jimmy Neutron or some shit like that. I'm like, damn, who I look like? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I want my shit fly. Who could I be? You know, so I was like, shit. And I thought that was fly. So I'm like, man, I want something cool. And then I'm like, my cool Ash just kind of came together. And I'm like, shit, I am cool as hell.
Came together.
It worked. And then I like when I tell people and they be like, my cool ass. I'm like, nah, Ash. So it's easy to remember.
It does sound like that though. It reads like that.
Yeah.
My cool ass.
Yeah, shout out to the merch too, my jogging suit and all that.
I like it.
Thank you.
I like it. Okay, so can you give me actually I'm gonna backtrack that. Hold on. I want a Minnesota Mount Rushmore comedians. I was gonna ask you for like the big dogs, but we'll get into that. We can do that after.
Mount Rushmore, respectfully, I feel like if you say a Mount Rushmore, it's not off my favorites.
Nope.
It's off of
the
it
time.
Can be. Nope. This is my opinion.
Yep.
It's not off my favorites. It's off of the time and work and skill put in.
Yep.
So my Mount Rushmore would be Adrian Shedji, Pierre, Bruce, and
that last one's always a bitch.
and myself.
All right.
And this is why I say that. I say that because of everything I just said. Those people that I named, I feel like have created opportunities for other comedians that have come after them. I feel like me and Brandon could easily weigh equally, but I feel like the people that I named have created opportunities for other comedians, including myself. I feel like those comedians have put in a lot of work to be where they are, and I feel like they should even be further. And I feel like at any given moment, any one of those comedians could take off and would very well, I would hope, but I definitely stand on, I believe they would very well continue to put people in positions to become who they need to be, and definitely continue to open doors for other people. in comedy.
That's a thoughtful answer. That might be the most thoughtful Mount Rushmore answer we've ever had.
Well, I mean, when you're talking about a craft and you're talking about something that you take serious, it's not always about who I like right now or who I might be friends with or who I might be closest to. Mm-hmm. It's about what's truth.
Yeah.
You can't argue with truth. You can't argue with respect. You can't argue with honesty. Like you gotta respect those who've come before you. You gotta put some respect on their hustle and their work, even if y'all don't see. You know what? I digress. I take myself off and I put Elliot.
Okay.
I put Elliot up there.
He's definitely providing.
Yeah, I put Elliot up there, and and all of those people that I named, Bruce, Shedgy, Adrian, Pierre, and Elliot, are all people that have also contributed to putting me in certain positions, and not just with getting opportunities, but getting money.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And when people put you in those positions, and you have platforms like this to say what you feel, those are the times that you show that respect and appreciation by being honest.
For real. I agree.
Instead of trying to kiss ass and make friends.
I agree. Wholeheartedly, I agree.
In my opinion.
Plus, I can also ask you who are some of the like young up and comers that aren't quite at that stage right now. I feel like comedy is cracking in Minnesota. I don't know if I'm right about that.
It's getting there. I think it's getting bigger. The more we get in tune. Those people that I named have been doing comedy for a while, but I think once some of us younger people started getting in, I think our generation started getting more in tune into it. So yeah, it's definitely getting bigger. It's nice.
So who are some younger kind of up and coming people that you see?
Well, I'll go with the two that I knocked off first. Myself, Brandon, Sosa, Bianca, Lee Evans. I gotta give a shout out to John X because he been running his stuff consistently.
He's not funny though.
Hey, that's y'all's opinion. But you know what? Even if that's your opinion that he's not funny, I respect the fact that he has a room where some of these comics can go and get tight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of them comics, what happens is you keep running them rooms, you keep going in there practicing, you'll do a slow creep on niggas and get funny. Look up and you be like, oh shit, this nigga's on SNL. I'm still trying to figure this shit out. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm over here trying to be the celebrity that's in South Minneapolis. North Minneapolis, when these niggas is over here getting tight, while niggas talking about they ain't funny.
Damn.
That they working. They at a comedy show every fucking week. So what if you can go do a comedy show one time every month and be funny? These niggas is getting funny every fucking weekend. And you gonna look up and you know what? Some of them niggas that's not funny on stage, they'll go and get a gig writing for SNL.
Yeah.
Be making $500,000 a month.
Cause they're in the gym.
Low key.
Yeah.
You know, so I respect all them niggas, and I feel like everybody in Minneapolis, comedy-wise, that I've run into, it's one dude in St. Paul, I always forget his name, but I shout him out too. He know I'm talking about, a little short dude with the braids. He working hard trying to get out there. I've been watching him too. Shay Webby, I forgot Shay Webby. Khadijah Cooper. Ali, he did like numbers on YouTube the other day doing his comedy. So it's a lot of comics up here that's really grinding and they out there.
Do you feel like there are some like internet comedians that sort of get in the way? Or do you not care about that?
What you mean?
So like people that that make viral like skits and shit like that, but they don't actually like practice their comedy. They just do dumb shit just to go viral.
Man, that ain't my business. You know, that ain't my business. I feel like, and you know what? Social media is free.
True.
If they want to prop their camera up and post themselves digging in their nose and get 500,000 views for digging their nose, that's on them. You know why? Because that's their money that's running up them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm not counting their pockets. Yeah. I'm not counting their views, none of that. I'm just enjoying myself.
But you don't feel like that muddies the waters for actual comedians? Nah.
It don't bother me.
Yeah.
It don't bother me because if I start caring about something I can't control, then I'm just gonna be stressing for nothing.
True.
That is not something I can control. Social media is free.
Yeah.
So even if it does muddy the waters, who am I to sit and complain about that shit?
That's a good point.
I might as well put on my swamp boots and my jacket and shit and get in these muddy ass waters and figure out what social media videos I gotta post to cut through that shit so that I'm still current and I'm relevant and I'm making money and my team is making money.
You're good. That's a great answer.
Man, I'm honest.
No, that's good. That's a great answer.
Yeah.
I like it. So when you do stand up, do you write?
I do it all.
Or are you mostly, well, what do you do most? Crowd work? Or are you?
It depends on my season. Like, honestly, right now, I'm getting back into writing. I've really been focused on myself. I've really been taking a mental break. And so I've been in my notebook more. But I feel like all last year, I was just all freestyle, for the most part, freestyling.
It seems like that best suits you, that crowd work. That's my favorite kind of comedy.
You get the raw version of me. I feel like that's my favorite too. But I know I love and know my craft, and I'm learning it even more. And you have to appreciate the people that like real comedy, that want to hear you do a 45-minute set that you've practiced and you've worked on, and you've spent some time putting time into. You know what I'm saying? And so I have to balance that out, even though I do love that as well. So I just want to be the best.
That shit just impresses me. Like I'm so impressed. I'm impressed by stand-up comedians, period.
Yeah.
But like it's the most vulnerable shit in the world.
It is.
Like it's the most vulnerable profession in the world.
It is.
Because you have to, for one, you have to put yourself out there, your business, your own personal business out there, but you got to stand in front of people and be funny.
Yeah.
Like that, I feel like people do not understand the seriousness of, I have to stand in front of all these people and then just be funny.
Yeah, and then you got to be funny in front of some people.
You can't just tell dad jokes.
Come on, and some people sitting there and they hoping you not funny. You know what I'm saying? So you got to cut through all of that. Or sometimes people just bored. Yeah. Because the energy in the room's dry, you know? Yep. So, yeah, but it's such a freedom in it. Like, there's vulnerability in it and different things like that. But really, comedy is honestly my therapy. Like, when I'm irritated, that'd be the best thing to have a show. Yeah. Like, I swear, there was one time where I felt like, it was like a week. Every time I had a show, I had like 5 shows that week. Every time I had a show, something happened. Somebody called me with some bullshit. And I murdered them shows. You know what I'm saying? It's just my therapy. I mean, like, that don't mean I want people to call me with no bullshit so I have a good show. But, man, I just love doing it. So, and I don't mind being vulnerable. That's probably the one thing that I don't mind being vulnerable with.
Yeah, I think you have to be. In order to really, like, be one of them greats, you have to. You look at the greats. Who is the most vulnerable comedian of all time?
I feel like Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor, without a fucking doubt. Without a doubt, there's no question. Most vulnerable stand-up comedian of all time. And I mean,
so honest.
Chappelle. I mean,
I always say Robin Harris. I always say, I love, like, now in my older age, I love like the Chris Rocks and all of them different people. Like I like everybody. I really just love most of our black comics, all of them. When you go from Def Comedy Jam to all of them, I feel like a lot of them were very vulnerable and honest and raw in their comedy. Like I feel like we can't just name a few. I feel like everybody goes straight to like the super greats, you know, the Michael Jordans of comedy, but I feel like all our black comedies really led the way. Like even when you talk about vulnerability, Mike Epps, he's always talked about everything in his life and I like to say, you know, when we talk about vulnerability in that way, Mike Epps, because I feel like his life we can all relate to. At least my generation, a lot of us can relate to a lot of what he's talking about, or even Cat Williams and them kind of dudes. Them is really who I grew up on. So yeah,
Cat Williams got, for whatever reason, I mean not for whatever reason, we know all the antics and all the shit, but like Cat Williams is top 3 all time.
Man, right?
In my opinion, maybe top 2.
I feel like a lot of people forget about Cat when we're talking these kind of conversations, but heck yeah, man, Cat can talk about anything. He can make anything funny.
I don't think I've ever laughed harder. I don't remember which one it was, because I can't name the specials, but I've never laughed harder at a stand-up special than Cat Williams. I think it was his second or third one.
Funny story, when I was in high school, it's like freshman year,
I
used to hoop.
He came to your school and fought you?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
No, I used to hoop for North when I was in 8th grade. But then I became a freshman, and more people in high school started getting to know me, and my voice hadn't matured at that time, so I used to be able to sound just like Money Mike when Cat Williams was Money Mike. You know what I'm saying? And that was actually my nickname throughout high school, Money Mike.
Damn.
Yeah. So I've always had a little special thing for Cat Williams. I used to be able to sound just like that movie.
Who do you think the greatest stand-up comedian of all time is? I know that's tough.
And I really don't feel like there is one. Comedy's subjective, and I feel like comedy, depending on what mood I'm in, shit, I might be my greatest. Sosa might be my greatest. Robin Harris might be my greatest. You know, like, comedy is like music. You know, I used to have a favorite song, and now that favorite song I probably don't even listen to. Same thing with colors. My favorite color different every year. I don't really have a favorite comic. I don't have a favorite anything. Other than, you know, my kid. That's it. Like, that's my favorite kid. Like, I choose her over anybody. You know.
I got 4 kids and I got a favorite.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a favorite. That's why I ain't having no more. That's why I was like, you know, after this one, I'm going to just go gay. I probably wouldn't even love the other ones the same. You know what I'm saying? Them kids might not even made it. I'd have been going right to that little clinic. They'd have been out there. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. They'd out there looking like the teacher's march.
Yeah, that wasn't an option for me, but I just had to keep having kids.
I'm just teasing.
Nah, but that's actually a real answer, because I do think, especially nowadays, we do a lot of talk about GOAT conversations and who's the best, who's the greatest. And the truth is, it might change tomorrow.
Come on,
in an
man.
hour.
Come on, man. My top 5 rappers right now ain't even my real. I can't even say, like, I would have to say my top 5 rappers in Minnesota, my top 5 rappers in trap music, my top 5 rappers in R&B music. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't even really choose a favorite anything because it's so much of everything.
Well, since you're live on Lake Street.
Y'all funny as hell. Y'all know
Let's talk about your top 5 rappers in Minnesota.
Man. Stuffo. Fuck you talking about? Stuff folks.
You can't answer it?
I don't have no top. I just told you I don't have a favorite anything. It just depends on the 5 rappers that I listen to. But I will say I like John Ray. Mm-hmm. I like Dip. Mm-hmm. I like Maya Marshall, if she counts as a rapper.
Of course.
Yeah, come on, that's the trap music rapper.
She's everything.
Yeah, come on. I gotta say Nakara and B-Dot. Then would be my top 5.
That's solid. I'm not mad at that 5.
Those are the top 5 that I actually, if I ain't gonna lie, if I go to my iPhone right now, them is who I'm gonna play. And then my heavy 6, my heavy runner at 6, I swear to God, like, he ain't even like, it's literally like, I might put on one of them and I might put on him is Taught Her How to Dress.
Okay.
Cause I be in my Nike shit, you know what I'm saying? I might get lit to that, so.
I like it. Well, I got no more questions for you. This is a great interview. I've enjoyed learning about you, and I can't wait. I want to see you on a big stage.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
I want to see that big tour.
Yeah, y'all got to. It'll happen. It's going to happen soon. Sosa's going to be on there, too.
For sure.
And Bianca.
For sure. And I got to come out and see you. When are you performing next?
Every Thursday at the 4th Street, 30 Plus. That's the Dirty 30 Thursday show. And this Thursday, I think it's St. Patty's Day, so wear y'all's green. We got Ladies Night coming up. We got more shows coming up, but definitely tap in every Thursday. And then every other Friday at the Go Room, we got the Verses with Debonair.
Okay. And you do stand up at those?
I do stand up at the 4th Street. I host at the Go Room.
Which one should I go? If I had to pick one, like I told you, I got 4th
Street. Come to the 4th Street. Okay. That's gonna be All
right. I definitely need to, because I'm actually a comedy head. Like, really, I really am.
Oh, yeah, then you definitely got to tap in. Come to the 4th Street, you're going to have a good time.
I definitely
$10, that's it.
For sure. I can't get on the list?
Oh, yeah, I got you. I'm telling everybody else.
I'm just bullshit. No, I'm paying.
This is DoorDash money, $10. Come on.
I'm paying. I'm definitely paying. Where can they find you at?
At My Cool Ash on everything. MyCoolash. My Cool Ash on everything. Other than that, Ashley Henderson. ASHLI. That's how you spell my first name.
Hey, can we do a Live on Lake comedy collab?
What you mean?
Like a show?
Yeah.
Live on Lake Street comedy show?
Yeah, let's do it. We can set it up, yeah. I got it.
I got nothing else. Another episode of Live on Lake Street. Everywhere at Jake Faircloth 1.
Try this shit. Damn, what in high school, I let it blam, what I wasn't playing, what I'm coming straight out the south. Hey, genius, best watch your mouth. When I put up on PNB, right, that ain't it come out. You moving ounces, I just moved 100 things in a drought. You want the south side, outside the fence of your house. You talking all that, then wanna come talk it out. If you ain't talking money, you talking about.